What if I said you could change your life in just 4 steps, whether it's ambitions, whether it's self development, or whether it's healing? Would you believe me? Step one is acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge how your environment has been influencing you, whether it's the people that you're around, whether it's your job, whether it's your employment, whether it's your living situation. Doesn't matter. Literally everything in your environment has an impact on you. So you need to ask yourself, how has this been impacting me? Not just acknowledging that it's been doing it, but acknowledging the method of which it's been doing it and the impact that it's been having. And the second part, this one's gonna be a little bit harder. You have to acknowledge your role in where you are now and your role in participating in systems, perpetuating cycles, ignoring red flags that end up giving you bad consequences, keeping bad company just because they're familiar. You have a role that you've played in all of this, and you need to acknowledge that. Step two, analyze. Now that you have all this information in front of you, create a separate list of how your life would change if you actually reach these goals. Whether it's the people that you hang around, whether it's your daily habits, whether it's the media that you consume, literally everything. Ask yourself, how different would your life be if you achieve these goals? And then compare it to all the data that you have now from your current situation. And ask yourself how things need to change in order to better align with your goal, to better align with the version of you that you want to become. And it's not going to be easy. That's why you don't want to do it fast at first. This is going to be a gradual process. And start just by collecting the data and asking yourself what's going to need to change. This does not mean that you need to change it right away. You control the pace of this. Step three, discipline. You know where you are. You know where you want to be. Now you need to develop the discipline to carry you from one to the other. I know a lot of you are looking for motivation, but I'm going to tell you a hard truth. Your motivation will die. There will be days where you're not motivated for a myriad of reasons. Life's not perfect. Life's not fair. And you have to learn to operate underneath those conditions. That means learning to do things whenever you're anxious, whenever you're tired, whenever you're depressed, whenever you're sad, whenever you're uncertain, whenever you have fear, whenever you have doubt. Anything that you're feeling, it doesn't matter. You have to learn to operate anyway. You have to learn to continue working towards your goal anyway. All right, maybe you're feeling fearful because it's brand new and it's unfamiliar, and you just got to do some shadow work to get yourself more comfortable being uncomfortable, being outside of the familiar. Maybe what's actually going on is that you're catastrophizing because you don't have your anxiety under control. You need to start looking at what's causing the anxiety. Is it a medication imbalance, or is it you actually going too fast with things? Or maybe, there's a lot of different things. You know yourself best, so you have to analyze the situation. You have to ask yourself, how can you adjust so you can continue to operate even when you're anxious, or however this applies to you. But you need the discipline to carry you from one to the other. Motivation comes, but motivation also goes just as fast. It's the discipline that you develop that's going to carry you. 4, ritual. This is where it gets more fun. So you have the self-awareness. You have the plan. You're developing the discipline to carry you from one to the other. Now it's time to make it a ritual. Now this is going to be very individualized. It's going to be very dependent on who you are, what your goals are in the context of your situation and your surroundings. So I'm just going to tell you about mine, and you apply to your situation how you see fit. My skincare and my makeup routine are actually very important rituals. They're so important to me that I will wake up hours in advance before I have to leave or before I'm expecting company to make sure I get it done prior to all of that. So I will go into those situations with the correct mindset. And that's because for a very long time, I did not show up first for myself. I did not put myself first. I did not really I wasn't the best to myself. And I want to get over that. I want to make sure that I never allow myself to neglect myself again. So part of that is making sure I stay on my self-care routine. I have very specific stuff that I do throughout the month. Sometimes some things are daily, some things are weekly, some things are monthly. It's all kind of dependent, and it's all very intentional. I'm thinking out loud to myself, what am I trying to do with this? For example, my makeup, I'm trying to impress myself. I'm also asking myself, how do I want to present myself to the world? And that's also why I started incorporating content creation into my ritual, because I don't only want to project myself to the world in the sense of beauty and glamour and developing myself and who I look like, but also what I think like. I also want to present myself to the world with the right mindset, with the right intentions, teaching people the right principles that I've learned, stuff like that. So this is actually a part of one of my rituals that you're actually participating in. And I have a lot more like that. This is just the one that's the most obvious, and because you're a part of it, it's the easiest to explain. But develop a ritual, something that you have to do every single day, and something that you have modifications for different times. Maybe times of stress, maybe certain Throughout the month, you have to do certain changes. However this applies to you, apply it to you and make it a ritual. Turn your discipline into a ritual, and you will truly embody your goal. You will truly embody the changes that you want to make, and your entire life will change. Now stand up for yourself. I believe in you.